Swole Normoth.
The sun is shining.
Yeah.
The birds are chirping.
Oh, it's chirping,
the
baby.
The bacon is sizzling.
Say what?
Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, testicles, testicles. Oh, welcome everyone to episode 1200 and Certe Schwan of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. You just saw a little preview of what we're going to talk about today, a post that Ellen made the other day. You might notice I got some sweet shades today. I've been trying out some different colors, mixing it up. I'm getting a little bored. And once I get a little bored, I'm like, hey, well, I got to shake things up. So we got some shiny goodness here. We're looking good. How we doing, fam? Welcome to episode 1231. If you are new to the Daily Swole, welcome to the fucking Daily Swole. Welcome to the sleaze. We're live, beaches. Welcome. And Papa Swolia is back. Again, she doesn't give two fucks. She doesn't care about anyone or anything, especially when I go live. She's all over my shit until I go live. Then she's like, fuck your couch. I'm going to sleep on this pillow. So, okay, whatever. All right. Thanks, pups. Thanks, baby girl. She doesn't care. Does not care. Zero fucks for daddy, but we're moving on anyway. We're going balls deep. So, all right, here we go. We're going to talk about this topic. I'm going to get into it in a second. Some of you already know about it. I see it in the comments. Holly mentioned it. I guess you saw this before. I didn't see it. A couple of you sent it to me. And the Dime Nart, you're interrupting the Tuna Diet podcast with this. If you didn't catch yesterday's or the other episodes, I'm picking on little things. I'm picking out little things that I'm noticing in the news. I'm picking out little things I'm noticing that are trending topics that kind of relate to our world, because this is what people read. This is what people watch. This is what goes into other people's brain holes. And if the majority of people are overweight, if the majority of people are making terrible decisions, then these things matter. This kind of verbiage that's being used by celebrities, these platforms that people have that they earned with other methods, they're encroaching into our turf. They're coming into our nutrition. This impacts people. This impacts actual health. This has repercussions. If you just do entertainment and you don't like it, okay, you don't like this comedian, you turn it off. Okay, you don't like this movie, you turn it off. If you're sending a message about what people should be eating, then you're actually affecting the health of them, you're affecting the health of their kids, you're affecting how they think, and you're not providing any real valuable information. You're just using your platform to try to be altruistic and to get attention and to go with the trends, all right? Especially when you're on a major network, when you're on a major channel, you don't really have your own voice. Ellen doesn't really have her own voice. She can't really say everything that she really thinks because it's her show, she's still being broadcast by major networks. So she has to toe the line. She has to say things that are trending. So anytime you watch some of these big network shows, you have to take that with a grain of salt, rather an entire bag of salt, because it's not the person's real opinion. It really isn't. It's whatever is trending. It's whatever is going to bring up the ratings. It's whatever will get more views and attention, because people don't watch this fucking shit. They do, but they don't. People are getting clips on YouTube. This is great for clips. This kind of stuff is great, like the James Corden bullshit. All those things are great for little snippets. They're great for little outtakes. They're great for little things you can take away and then throw on YouTube or throw on Instagram. So we'll talk about this in a second, but I want to say hi to the fam that's joining live. Remember to follow me everywhere. Follow the Daily Swole on Instagram as well. We started the page a couple weeks ago, so we're posting a lot of like little snippets and little IGTVs, and also just posts and quotes from previous episodes, and also, of course, Swolenormous everywhere. Brand new Nuts on Chin today. Brand new Nuts on Chin. If you didn't catch it, it was about that donut chicken sandwich we talked about yesterday. But I had to go a little bit deeper. I couldn't leave it alone. It wasn't enough. I had more nuts I needed to drop. Yesterday wasn't enough rage. I had to make it a point. And I appreciate everyone that checked out that video. Some gross ass shit, and they don't tell you what the fuck the ingredients are. They don't tell you what the fucking ingredients are. Anyway. Have I ever burst a blood vessel in my hand? No, that sounds like it sucks. Sorry to hear that, Rob. I have not busted a blood vessel in my hand. I have not. With great power comes great responsibility. Well, when you have an audience, it comes down to respecting your audience, not crossing over into territory that you have no fucking idea about. I'm going to play the clip in a second. So I'm going to let some more people come in, but I'm going to set this up. So Ellen had a post. This is 2 days ago. All right. It's got 4.5 million views. And whenever you have a talk show, you have a guest on that wrote a book about something. Oh, eat less meat or do this or do that. And then all of a sudden you're an expert. It's like anyone who watches a documentary and then talks like that and just spits it back out and just spits out the verbiage like, oh, I read the Bible and now, Jesus said this, Jesus said that, or I read a book about not eating meat. Well, you shouldn't do this because this is bad and this is bad. You have no fucking idea from personal experience. You watched something or you read something and then you just spout off that nonsense. Okay? Meat's not bad for you. Shitty meat is bad for you. Shitty meat is bad for you. Eating a lot of shitty meat is bad for you. Eating a lot of junk food is bad for you. Eating a lot of processed sugar and processed carbohydrates are bad for you. Okay? There are a lot of things that are bad for you in excess. And a lot of you might say, okay, well, the poison is not in the actual product, it's in the dosage. Well, some of these things have no value. Do you want to eat junk food even a little bit and get no value from that? Some people can get away. Some of you don't care about the little health consequences down the line from eating a little bit of shit regularly if you're having cheat meals. That's individualized, okay? But you can't deny that when you're eating junk food and you're eating a lot of calories, you're going to get obese, you're going to have health problems. That's fact. That's not debatable, so we're not going to go down that road. What I will go down the road is people that are using their platform to just spout random fucking nonsense because it's trending. Because it's trending. It's trending. So Ellen's on the trending train, and of course she has to toe the line. Of course she's lesbian herself. So I'm not saying that this has anything to do with it, but there's a lot of social groups and social acceptance groups that are part of the LGBT community that are part of all this. And I'm not going to get political, but it's just a fact. There are a lot of movements in the socially left, okay, politically left, that is all about the fat acceptance, body positive, we should all have the whole, socially democratic socialism, stuff like that. A lot of acceptance, a lot of even the playing field. Okay. So this kind of goes aligned with all of those things. And a lot of these media groups are left wing and promote all these different little social movements. Okay. That's just a fact. That's where a lot of this lies. So it ties into her audience. That's my point of saying this. It ties into her audience. It ties into that same rhetoric that keeps that pace. Now, I'm not saying with any of this content, I'm not saying that eating tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of meat is the best thing for you. I'm certainly not also saying that vegan is the best thing for you. I do not think meat is bad for you. Okay? You can say that. That's my opinion. Fine. Eating meat is not bad for you. It is not bad for you. Eating shitty meat is bad for you. Eating garbage meat in large quantities, of course, is bad for you. Not exercising is bad for you. Okay? Not exercising is bad for you. Sitting on the fucking couch, getting stressed out, doing things that you are miserable with in your life is bad for you. A lot of things in the world are bad for you. And eating meat is not one of them. That's why we're here today on this fucking earth, is because we can eat meat. We can eat meat. Is it destroying the earth? Listen, a lot of fucking things are destroying the earth. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. A lot of things. Come on. Why are we doing this? Why are we having this conversation with eating meat? It's destroying the fucking earth. Is that what it is, really? Talk to me. Is that really what it is? How many of you think that eating, and that's the reason why we have all these problems, right? That's a reason why we're eating meat. It's bad for the earth. Is it really? Is it really bad for the earth, or is it bad for us because we are over farming? I don't think eating meat is bad, but we certainly don't need to produce that much of it, do we? We don't need to produce that much of it because, you ready? We don't need to produce that much of it because we don't need that many calories. We have too many calories available. We waste a lot of food. We don't need that much food. We're obese because we're eating too many calories. Okay? We're eating too many calories. We don't need that much meat, period. We don't need that much. We have too much mass production. If you go to the supermarket on any given day in the supermarket, you have so much food. Do you think that food stays good forever? It doesn't. It goes bad. And they throw it out, or they recycle it, or they throw it in the trash and it rots and it goes to a junkyard and buzzards eat it. We have too much food. If we just stop producing so much food, yeah, maybe the price of meat would go up, but people would eat. That's a good thing, I think. Honestly, if the price of meat, look, I don't want it to get more expensive. I don't want people to be hard up for food, right? I don't want people to have trouble buying quality food. But if you think about this, if there wasn't such an over creation of fast food, of burgers, of all this meat that doesn't get eaten, that is mixed with other garbage fillers to make it more voluminous so they can sell it at McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's and KFC and all this stuff, it would be more expensive. And then people would buy less of it because it'd be more expensive. So it would make it harder for people to consume so many calories because the food would get more expensive. Now, that's not the same as me saying, I want people to pay more. I want you to struggle more. I don't want you to struggle more. But I think there's like some kind of balance, and I'm not an economic expert because there's a lot of things that have to move. There's a lot of moving pieces that have to be done. If you just do one thing, like, hey, let's stop eating so much meat, everyone thinks that's going to solve the fucking problem. We still need just as much food for a growing population. So something else is going to get destroyed. Something else is going to be created. There isn't going to be this like altruistic, like, oh, everything is like fucking Willy Wonka and like Alice in Wonderland is just flowing and there's air is just pure because we're just eating plants. It's not going to work like that. We still have to create calories for a growing population. People just keep on fucking. Stop fucking. That helps too. Stop fucking. And we don't need more food. So just a couple thoughts before we watch this clip. So I'm going to show you this clip and then you can see what I'm talking about and then we can continue the discussion. How about that? Here we go. Let me just unmute the audio and then we can watch this.
Oh, hi there. It's Ellen Degeneres here. I was scrolling through the gram and I noticed that a lot of people are talking about eating less meat, which I think is a fantastic idea. It's a great idea for the planet. It's a great idea for your health. It's a great idea for the animal's health. So eat less meat. Unless you're a vegan and you don't eat meat already, then good for you. So you don't even need to pay attention to this. But for the people who do eat meat, just try to eat less of it. Maybe eat it less, once a week, or none a week, or just like if you eat it every night, don't eat it every night. Eat it less than that. The point is, it's better for you and it's better for the environment, and for the animals. Eat less meat. Hashtag eat less meat. Hey, be neat. No meat. Be neat. Eat less meat. Hashtag be neat. Eat less meat. Hashtag bye-bye. Oh, hi there. It's
Okay. So we watched that. As you can see, it's completely devoid of any actual information. It's literally just her saying, eat less meat. That's all she's saying. She says nothing. It's better for the animals. Yeah, well, if you don't kill an animal, I guess it would be better if you don't kill the animal for that animal. But I mean, what about human beings? Like it doesn't mean anything. Okay. If I don't pour water on a rock, that rock won't get wet for a second. Okay. If I don't jump, then I won't be in the air. I don't know. Like any kind of phrasing like that would make any sense. There's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just telling people to eat less meat. Now, Ellen, I have nothing wrong with her. I actually like her. I like her. I think she's funny. I think she does a lot of good things. I think she's one of the better ones. I don't have any problem with her individually. What I do have a problem with are fucking celebrities with massive platforms just spewing nonsense. Eat less meat. It's better for you. Says who? How is it better? Like, says what? Eating meat is bad because I eat meat. I'm not healthy. Get the fuck out of here. There's nothing there but just someone saying, eat less meat. It's better for, because you should eat it once a week or none a week. So now people are going to watch this. You know that some people are Ellen fanatics and now they're not eating meat. So they're not going to be doing vegan correctly. They're not going to be getting their nutrients. A lot of people are going to have fucking problems trying to go vegan because of this clip or because of the show or whoever she had on the show. This is just a huge platform to spew complete nonsense. If you want to talk to someone who made a viral video, if you want to talk to someone who like, oh, look at this boy with the balloon. I had this boy, the video went viral. Those types of people should be on Ellen. A celebrity that comes on that has a new movie coming out, you should go on Ellen. Ellen, you should not be talking about anything with nutrition. You should not be talking about anything with health or exercise. She's trying to be funny. She's doing her little broken speech like I don't know what I'm talking about, kind of silly, like hashtag bye-bye, hashtag be neat, eat less meat, little cheesy comedy. That's not funny. That's not funny. This is the problem with Instagram nutrition. I've been going after Instagram nutrition for fucking months, probably a year or more. And I have a lot of accounts that I am about to fucking thrash here on the main channel, on Swolenormous channel. And it's not to be mean to people. It's to expose more of these things because a lot of people use Instagram. A lot of people use Instagram. A lot of people watch Ellen, and obviously a lot of people watch Ellen's Instagram. This has 4,322,659 views at the time of me pulling up this video. That is a lot. That's a lot. And eating meat is not bad for you. Get the hell fucking out of here. It's not. The way people are eating the meat in terms of low quality meat, not good. Eating a lot of low quality meat, not good. Burning the meat and crisping it, not good. You don't want to fucking burn meat. You don't want to be eating carcinogenic food. There are ways to get around it. There are ways to cook. There are ways to prepare. You don't want to get an excess of certain amino acids. Well, you can balance that out by consuming more collagen, blah, blah, and all these different things when you're eating a more higher meat diet or you're consuming red meat. There's nothing wrong with it. That's why we're here on Earth. There's nothing wrong with eating fucking meat. You could also be extremely sick. We don't talk about that enough here, Ellen. You can be extremely sick and extremely unhealthy not eating meat. You could be extremely unhealthy. I have many accounts I've talked about already on my main channel, vegan holistic coaches that look like they're about to die, hardcore anorexics that say they're recovering from eating disorders. Not from the looks of it. You're in the middle of it. You're not recovering. You're just not dead yet. There are a lot of people that are on that extreme that are vegans and they look like they are going to die today. It's extremely bad. And these are people that promote in their profile that they're a coach, that they are a health coach. They shouldn't be counseling anyone. That should be illegal. And there's a lot of issues with Instagram, of course, because you don't get all the context. And I'm not saying that some people can fucking go without meat and be healthy. Sure. And a lot of people can eat meat and be completely healthy because they do. Is there any doubt why the vast majority, was it 90 or 95% of the entire world, maybe even more, are not vegan? Well, we're doing pretty good as a species, fam. That's why we keep on growing. That's why there's more of us. All of a sudden, turning to plants is not going to stop. How are we going to fucking grow plants fast enough? You know, we're just going to all of a sudden just sprout plants everywhere and everything's going to be plant-based. We're overpopulating, period. It's not solving any problems. I love that. All of a sudden, we're going to stop eating so much meat and the earth is going to be fine. It's going to take so many fucking decades or centuries to shift that. There's so many more pending things that could change before that even fucking makes a difference. Seriously. There's so many more things that we can do for the environment right now that supersedes this whole fucking issue. Everyone loves to pick a cause. Everyone loves to pick a cause. We can fight cancer. We could barely fight obesity because everyone's getting fucking butthurt about that. But when you go after and you talk about, like, I mean, there's so many other issues with pollution. There's so many other issues with, with energy production that has nothing to do with this that we could be doing right now. Carbon capture and all this type of stuff. It's fucking brutal. It's brutal. And people are very, very confused about veganism. People are confused with survival and thriving. Okay. Some people can hack it. If you force your body to adapt, it will adapt. You can adapt to a vegan diet if you force yourself to, but not everyone can stick to it. Your body will adapt. You know why? Because your body doesn't want to die. Your body doesn't want to die. So if it's only getting nutrients from certain things, it can try to swap and work it out, but it doesn't mean that's optimal for it. Doesn't mean that you should be a vegan. It doesn't mean that's going to work for everyone either. And if you're watching this and you're a vegan, totally fine. Not against vegans. That's not what this podcast is about. But what I am against, it's like the same thing. I'd be saying the same thing if she was talking about being a carnivore. Oh, you should go carnivore. Don't eat plants. Go carnivore. It's the same kind of extreme. Like, who the fuck are you, Ellen, to say anything about the environment? And of course, it's your opinion, just like this is my opinion. So you have the right. And again, I'm not arguing her ability or her right to say it, but I have that equal right to voice my opinion against it. So that's all that this is. That's all that this is. This is just me voicing my opinion versus her opinion. She just has a lot more people listening to her opinion, and it's going to hurt a lot of people. It's going to hurt a lot of people. And this type of social movement, it's popular. It's popular to talk out against meat. It's popular right now. It's trending to be plant-based. It's trending to go vegan. That's the cool thing. It's cool to be a vegan. It's cool to eat less meat. That'll go away. That'll go away like anything else. It was bad to eat fat for a while. Now fat's more popular. Everyone's doing keto and this, and now veganism is popular. It's just social media is more popular. information travels faster. So it's just another trend. It's just another fad. And when I say fad, I'm not saying that veganism itself is a fad. No, that's a lifestyle. That's a choice. That's a moral choice. That's almost a religious approach to your food and to your lifestyle. Okay? That is not a fad. That's just there. But the promotion of it is a fad. Does that make sense? Keto, that's a way of eating. That's a methodology in which you are biasing your body towards blood ketones and you're limiting your net carbohydrates, blah, 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 to produce a certain series of mechanisms in the body that will thrive off a extremely high fat diet rather than carbohydrate based. That's a fad now. It's promoted as a fad, but it's a style of eating. It's a method of eating that can benefit a lot of people. So these things in themselves are not fads, but the promotion, the social discussion is a fad. It's a trend. It's something new and stimulating. And wow, I can get behind that. I'm a good person. Again, I'll say it 1,000 times. Too many fucking animal movies. Too much Disney. There's no shock that all this stuff is so fucking popular and Disney's like one of the biggest companies in the entire fucking world. All they do is make animal movies. Well, when your animals talk and they have a personality and they have a character arc, yeah, you're not going to want to kill you're not going to want to kill an animal. That's okay. Hold on, I spilled coffee. Don't waste. I just licked it off the coffee coaster. Fuck yeah. Anyway, it just bothers me when you see celebrities, like she's not a fucking nutritionist. She didn't write a book. She had a guest on that probably had a book and now she's spouting it like she's a fucking messiah. The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. But look, it's her opinion. That's her podcast. That's her platform that she created with her hard work and her humor and personality, just like this is with me. So again, I'm not saying that she doesn't have the right to say that. I'm just making my right known to say the same thing and voice my opinion about her opinion. It's just a dialogue. I don't get it. I don't agree. I don't agree with what she posted. And a lot of people in her comments are speaking out about it. You know, everyone's like, a lot of people are jumping on it. And some people are like, well, Ellen, I thought your audience was so accepting. They don't sound that way. It's because people don't like getting bullshitted. And people are getting a lot smarter when it comes to these types of content. You're like, wait a second. Check the source. Who is saying this? Ellen, who the fuck are you to talk about my nutrition? Like, are people supposed to change how they eat? Are people supposed to change how they eat because they saw it on Ellen? Ellen DeGeneres said that you shouldn't eat meat. Oh, but I love Ellen. Oh, I wish I could eat meat. Then fucking eat meat. Make better choices. Exercise. If you made the simple choice to exercise more, then your body would use the nutrients that you're consuming better. You can eat quality meats. And if you can't afford quality meats, then find quality other foods. Get some fucking wild sardines. They're cheap as shit. Grass-fed beef is not that expensive, especially when you weigh out the nutrient density. You're not eating a lot of garbage foods. It's prioritizing. Don't buy another pair of shoes. Don't buy another fucking watch. Get a less expensive car. Stop paying for a really expensive house or an apartment you can't afford. Stop going out to dinner 5 times a fucking month. You know, I mean, you can save money elsewhere. It's not that expensive. You're worried about, okay, it's $4 a pound versus $7 a pound. Oh my God, it's $3 fucking dollars. You can't afford $3 fucking dollars for the health of yourself or your family. Get the fuck out of here. It's stupid. It's stupid nonsense. Junk food is so expensive. It's so expensive because it's just calorically dense. It's nutrient void. So when you're buying junk food, it's not, oh, this is $6 or $7 versus $4. This is $7 and this is trash. You're throwing away that other money when you could be spending it. If you want to buy Doritos, $4.79 for a family-sized bag of Doritos or $5.29, you're literally pissing money down the toilet. You're literally taking your $5 or whatever it is, and you're throwing it in the garbage. So rather than wasting $5, why don't you use $7? Doesn't that make sense? Why don't you add $1 or $2, get something that you can fucking use, a pound of quality meat, and get rid of the $5 of complete, utter, empty fucking trash. It's not rocket science. It's simple. It's simple. I love hearing this. I love hearing this kind of shit from people that barely even look like they fucking exercise. Like, how many hours out of the day is Ellen sitting in a fucking chair? Just saying. Just saying. Now I'm just going off the rails. Now I'm just pissed off. I just ramp myself up. Anyway. Yeah, she's not. Look, coming from nerdy vegan, Ellen isn't a great spokesperson for this sort of thing. I agree. And again, I value everyone's attention here. If you're a vegan, I'm not saying, look, nothing that I said that you can't be a vegan. I am totally fine with you being a vegan, but don't fucking tell me that eating quality cuts of meat and exercising and paying attention to my fucking health and practicing yoga and doing all combined. It's not just one or the other. It's not just, oh, do you eat meat? You're unhealthy. Oh, you eat plants? Oh, you're good. There are a lot of fat fucking people that are plant-based, that are vegans. There are a lot of sickly people that don't eat meat because they're not doing it right. They're not exercising. It's not the best thing for their body. They just don't want to eat Bambi, so they'd rather die themselves than to eat properly and to actually pursue their own health. And that's been documented many times on people's YouTube channels that can't handle being vegan anymore. They start eating quality meat products, and all of a sudden their health completely does a 180 and turns around. So you can say it both ways. A lot of times when you try any diet, you're going to get healthier, right? If you eat junk food a lot and all of a sudden you go keto, wow, keto was great for me. I love keto. Sure, if you're cutting out all fucking carbohydrates pretty much, yeah, you're going to be a lot healthier because you're not eating all those breads and pastas and sodas and candies and all the processed sugar that you're going to find in all these fast food and junk food items. Of course, keto is going to work for you. Of course it is, because now you're eating real food. You're not eating trash. If you go vegan, okay, and you're not eating junk vegan food, you're going to be cutting out a lot of garbage choices. You're going to be eating a lot of vegetables and a lot of fiber. Of course, it could possibly work for you. You're going paleo. Well, you're not going to be eating so much sugar and processed things and anything after that, quote, paleo period in agriculture. You're staying away from grains. That's a lot of carbohydrates. They're going to spike your insulin and cause you to store more fat. All those things. So any of these diets and like structured approaches, fucking 99% of them will work for anyone that sticks to them. But the most important thing is you need to find what works best for you. You need to find what you can stick to. You need to find what works best for your lifestyle. And if you don't find what works best for your lifestyle, you're going to jump from one thing to the next, and you're never really going to see any appreciable change because you're not sticking. You're not consistent. You got to be fucking consistent. Be more consistent, you fucking cocksuckers. Not you, the jabronis that suck cock. In that context, you're all welcome here. You're all accepted. You're all beautiful. I love all of you. You're all valuable people. All right, here we go. And I'm good. And I'm back. All right, let's talk a little bit more. Let's get this discussion going. Let's see here. I do keto and supplement with vitamins. I don't have more sugar cravings. Cool. Kiyun's forehead. That forehead just keeps on going and going. It's like a 6 head now. Keto taught me portion control and nutrition. Okie-dokie. Sarah, everybody wants to think it's one thing, like all of those, quote, superfood BS things. Just eat one thing and change one thing. Ta-da, healthy. Agreed. It's not about all the fucking. It's not just about meat and plants. It's not that simple. Let's see. We had to get non-grass-fed beef, but was still better quality. The difference was outstanding. I prefer a pescatarian diet personally and sometimes make a meal or two that are vegetarian, but protein and legumes instead. Okay. In my opinion, you pay more attention and stop eating out. Kelly, you have follow-up on that? A vegetarian for 4 months, had my first piece of meat, and you're like, wow, I missed this. I'm sure she does have a regular exercise routine. I'm just fucking saying. Everyone should. See, that shouldn't be like something, oh, well, congratulations, Ellen, you have your own exercise routine. I don't give a fuck. Everyone should. Every single person on the earth should have like some type of exercise and fitness routine. Everyone. I think everyone. So that should be a guarantee. That should be freaking across the board. Ellen should be exercising. Her audience should be exercising. The camera people should be exercising. You can eat clean, vegan, or keto and it'll be 100% better than the standard American diet. Agreed. My forehead is infinite. No shit. AJ, I cook my shit every day. Don't eat. AJ, what I tell you about eating shit? What I tell you? We talked about this before. Don't be eating poop. I cook my shit every day. For the next day, I'd rather shoot myself than go vegetarian, let alone vegan. Let's see. Sit and spin. I seriously don't think, quote, celebrities care about who gets hurt when their fans follow their words. I don't think that's true. Well, here's the thing. Like Ellen, of course, she's not a bad person. I don't know her, but I think from all her, public record, she's not an evil person. But at the same time, when you make statements like this, here's the thing. It's not intentional. She's not trying to hurt people, but she's saying something that's following some type of ideology, but for like millions and millions of people I'm talking about, like it's getting to a lot of ears. So people will have negative side effects from this, but she can't control it. But it's the windfall that I'm concerned with, because it's not intentional. It's just what will happen. It's a domino effect. It's a domino effect. It's funny, we're talking about children's books. I've written like 4 or 5 or 6 children's books years ago that I just haven't put together. I haven't assembled it. But that was one of the reasons why I started Swolenormous, because I wrote children's books. So if you're all interested in that, maybe I'll pursue them and actually develop them more. But we'll move on from there. People that don't cook their food have much less respect for their food. I agree with that. You need to have hands-on approach. You need to get hands-on and dig into your nutrition. Once you take a little bit more responsibility and you get more involved with it, you'll make better decisions normally. You're not going to be at home creating garbage foods. If you're going to cook food, it's very simple. You're cooking meat, or you're cooking potatoes, or you're cooking vegetables. Like, you're cooking that. You have to put all the stuff on it. You're not going to create high fructose corn syrup in your kitchen. It takes a long time. You're not going to create that shit. You're going to eat the food and season it in spices, and you're going to be healthier, because it takes more time to prepare your food. You can't consume 2,000 calories in fucking 5 or 10 minutes. You're going to have to create that food, and you're going to get full quicker because it's more nutrient dense. Yeah, I would agree with that. Sit and spin. I think that's why so many vegans think vegan is healthy. They're going from nothing to something. Well, people need something to believe in too. And it's a powerful thing to have like a support system, and a lot of people that believe what you believe, and a lot of people that will surround you and support you. People want to be part of a community. And it's like anything else. It's like the community here with Swolenormous and the Daily Swole. It's just like that with veganism. Like, you have a team, you have a community, and people that agree and think the way you think. So that's really powerful. And a lot of people don't have that in their circles. A lot of people don't have that in their immediate surroundings. So these movements are growing faster with social media, just like fat acceptance and plus size, body positivity, health at every size. All those things are growing because more people can find out about more of these groups. And all you have to do is use the hashtag or post things relating to that. And all of a sudden, boom, you're part of a community. You don't have to go somewhere to a meeting. You don't have to change the way you look. You don't have to put any money in. You just, hey, you put in your profile, or you just start posting stuff and agreeing and becoming a part of that community. It takes no effort. So it's very easy to be a part of all these different crossed over groups and then have these little online arguments. I don't see this really in person that much. I know we read a lot about it on media, but in my personal life, I don't see a lot of this stuff. I don't run into like tons of vegans. I don't see all these vegan options everywhere. It's really more of a social media thing. The actual real world application, I just don't see this as an issue. So it's kind of funny every time like we sign off from the podcast, I go around, it's like, this doesn't affect me in my personal life. Like, it does, but it doesn't, in the sense that I don't see people picketing in the streets. I don't have conversations with vegans all the time. I don't have these kinds of crossovers, because when you're having real world interactions with people, like when I go to a yoga class, I'm sure a lot of the people doing yoga are vegans or do whatever, but they don't just run their mouth and talk about it. It's not like a point of conversation. No one in real life, in person, seems like a normal person. People don't like fucking always talk about, what do you eat? Are you a vegan? Are you a vegan? I guess you can cross with some people, but I don't have interactions like that. So, but this is something that I see that can really affect people in real life. In terms of just, you're looking at that and you just go and take Ellen's word for it and you start following suit, you can have some serious problems. Yeah, people follow. People like to follow. I don't think she knows the nuances of dietary choices. There's so many factors. There's so many factors when it comes to your nutrition. It's not just whether or not you're eating meat. It's, are you exercising? What type of meat? What's your preparation method? A lot of people don't understand that preparing your food has a lot to do with the nutrient quality and maybe the health benefits or the lack thereof. Like when you're cooking bacon, I eat heritage pastured pork. I don't eat like Oscar Mayer bacon. And you're not supposed to hear the fucking bacon sizzling. You're not supposed to crisp it. It's supposed to be fucking soft. You don't want to burn it. You don't want there's different ways. You don't want to char a steak. You don't want to fucking crisp it. You don't want that. You should be eating shit almost fucking like really super fucking rare. But people don't, oh, I don't like the taste of that. Well, then you're going to eat junk food. That's why people are unhealthy a lot of times, because you're going for taste. You get addicted to certain tastes. You get addicted to certain flavors. You get addicted to certain kinds of sugar concentrations. You get addicted to certain consistencies and textures, and you forget what your body needs because you never really ate that way. You don't eat for fuel. You're eating for, what stimulates me? So you follow that stimulation, and then you go further and further from actually eating quality nutrients. You're just programmed wrong. You created bad habits, and now you're just completely just going off the rails. I agree with that. Well, there's a lot of voices, and I'm literally just another voice in the pile. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm an influencer or a celebrity, but I'm just another voice that's out there. So I'm another option. I'm another person. Like, it just adds to the noise potentially, but that's why my message, I'm trying to make it stand out. I'm trying to play like a little bit more. I have my opinions, but I'm also trying to give like a neutral standpoint on it. Like, look, if you want to do veganism, then pursue it. But don't go spouting fucking gospel as if that's the answer and you should do that to be healthy. It's fucking nonsense. It's bullshit, and it's fucking bad. It's really bad. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. And check this out. Like, you have these other comments, like someone says, quote, Ellen. Ellen says, let's take care of our planet. And then they say, meat eaters, how dare you? I don't like you anymore. We're confusing the issue. We're talking about, if you eat meat, now you're a bad person because you don't care about the planet. What the fuck are you talking about? You see how these issues get crossed over? This is called intersectionality. You're crossing over completely different arguments. You're crossing over completely different groups of beliefs and people that have these different political and social views. Stop relating eating meat to the environment and then using that as a method to say it's unhealthy for people. They're completely different arguments, not to mention all the nuances within them. That really fucking annoys me. That's really a problem. Don't talk about meat being bad for the environment and then talk about it in the same sentence how it's bad for health, and not talk about the quality of the meat, the method of cooking and preparation, your exercise, your genetic predispositions, your environment, your socioeconomic. Like, there's so many other fucking factors. Plenty of people eat meat and live long fucking lives. Plenty of people eat only plants and can live to be, look at this guy, he's 93. Great. There are people that have lived longer than that and consumed meat. Vegans will take one case of someone who lived, look at this guy, he's 93 and he's still walking. Great. Excellent. So he eats plants. Okay. My fucking great-grandparents lived to their about 100 years old, 95 and 98 years old. They weren't vegans. So so what's the argument here? What's the fucking argument? My great-grandfather lived to be 90 fucking 8 years old, lived by himself until the day he fucking died. He wasn't a vegan. Loved cigars. I remember my mom told me when I was little that my great-grandfather, she was like, Pupik always drank a big glass of water at every meal. So my whole life, I'm like, oh shit, I got to drink a glass of water. I'll live a long life. I drink a ton of water. All right. So just saying, like, you take one example, it's like, wow, this person lived a long time and they didn't eat meat. Great. And a lot of people live a long time and eat meat. So what are you trying to say? What are you arguing here? Really? What are you arguing here? So that's not the right answer. It's not. It just really isn't. When I was vegan 14 years ago, I was a right cunt. A right cunt meaning you're a cunt about people that didn't participate in veganism. Oh. And for anyone that's just coming in, this is not an anti-vegan podcast. I'm just angry at that type of approach, because if you're saying you're eating meat, you're saying you're a bad person because you're killing animals. Okay, this is what the argument is. It's like a three-headed argument, and you go after one piece of it, and then people just direct it to another thing. So if you eat meat, you're a bad person because an animal has died. Okay, then if you eat meat, you're killing the environment, so you're a horrible person because you're killing the environment too. And if you eat meat, what is it? You're bad for the planet. You killed animals, you killing the earth, and you're unhealthy. Well, which one is it? Which one is it? Because I don't think it's any of those. Which one is it really? Don't say it's unhealthy for me. Yeah, if I'm eating an animal did die. Okay. There are a lot of things that are causing the problem with the earth. Okay. And the earth is fine. We are just using up our resources rapidly because we won't stop fucking, and we're not more conscientious about how we're getting rid of our waste, what we're producing. We're creating a lot of trash. We're using gasoline. We have obviously every ability. We have every fucking ability to make everything electric and solar, but we don't. So you're going to blame it on cattle. You're going to blame it on meat eaters. Well, why don't we stop driving all these gasoline cars when we obviously know how to make electric cars, and we have for like 20 fucking years, but we don't do it. So it's going to be it's all of a sudden on the meat eaters now, because we can't attack the oil companies. We're not strong enough to do that. So let's just go after eating meat. Why don't we have celebrities going after oil companies? Why don't we get off oil dependence? Why don't we start grasping and grabbing all this fucking sunshine that I see outside my fucking window every day? I don't see any solar panels in Florida. Where are the solar panels? Where are the solar panels in California, in Arizona? Where are all the fucking solar panels? Cover the fucking desert in solar panels. Fucking Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, just cover it with solar panels. You know, don't destroy the environment, but fucking solar panels. It's always sunny. Literally, definition of a fucking desert. So what about that? What about that? What about it? What about it? We won't need as much oil, and then we won't be burning and using as much fucking fuel and all those exhaust fumes and stuff. Why don't we start there? I don't care where I get my energy. Do you care where you get your power? Do you care if does it affect you? If I can turn on my lights and do the shit that I need to do, I don't care if it comes from fucking oil or gas. Like, just make it better, make it cleaner. There's definitely better ways to do it. Solar is expensive. Yeah, but not in the long run. But that's my point. Solar is expensive as fuck. Why is it expensive? You tried with your house in Colorado and you have to pay out the ass for the equipment to get started. True. But if they subsidized it like the government does for corn and soy and gas, then guess what would happen? It would be cheaper. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying the technology exists, but we're not doing it. And we're not doing it fast enough. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not expensive. That's the point. That's the problem. It's because it's kept that way. It's kept expenses. You have to pay money. It's a pain in the ass because the companies don't want you to use it. So they make it a real challenge for you to get solar. They make it expensive. They make it hard to get money off and give back to the grid. They make it a challenge because they don't want you to do it. They don't want you to do it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree. If the government subsidized solar the way they subsidize oil, it'd be dirt cheap. Had some broth, some bone. Yeah. I just finished some bone broth. I got a piece of pepper in my throat. Mariah, we did try, but we didn't have the $10,000 up front. See, look, you need $10,000 to start just to start with solar. You don't have to start jack shit. You just tell them, hey, can you turn on power to our house? Okay. And then you have power. They make it hard and expensive because they don't want you to do it. Thank you, Desiree. I appreciate it. Sweden has a 20% off the cost and a 9% lift off the installation cost and new installations and solar panels. All I'm saying is if we made it, come on, the reason why gas is cheap or the reason why all this other stuff is available is because we're using it. That's all it is. If we changed the approach, it would be the same price or less if we just fucking did it. But we don't. We don't. So before you start blaming, oh, so-and-so's eating meat, make sure you're making the right argument and be consistent. Don't tell me that I'm killing animals, so I'm a bad person. Don't tell me I'm ruining I don't care about the environment because I eat a fucking ribeye. And don't tell me that it's bad for my health all in one breath. Get the fuck out of here. How militant are you? It's a stupid fucking comment. It's a stupid approach. It's a stupid mindset. It's just not true. It's not fucking true. There are many issues with all of that. There are many issues with why so much food is being produced. There are many issues with why the environment has problems. There are many issues and nuances and individual and bio-individuality when it comes to regions, when it comes to adherence, when it comes to actual health. Okay? It's not just, okay, whether you eat meat or not, that's going to determine your health. It's going to determine your stress levels, your mobility, your exercise output. It's so many fucking things. Let's say you eat plants, but you drink fucking beer all the time. Oh, well, I'm eating plants. How come I'm not healthier? Because you're just not eating meat. You're still consuming shit. I'm not eating meat, but I'm going and getting that vegan chicken sandwich from KFC. Well, you're technically a vegan and you're going to be unhealthy as fuck. So it's a stupid fucking comment. It's a stupid fucking dialogue. And Ellen completely fucked up on this one. And it's stupid. It sucks. It's shitty. And it's reaching a lot of people. And it pisses me off because if you say one thing, if you say, well, it's healthy to eat meat. Well, it's bad for the environment. All right, shift to the next fucking argument. What else? Oh, well, you're a bad person. You're killing the animals. Okay, what else? What else? Anytime you over and supersede one of these stupid arguments, they'll just move to the next one. Well, it's still, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Find what works for you and fucking do it. We have a lot of other issues that we need to fix as a society and as a world. And here's another thing. You ready? Here's another thing to finish this up with. Stop acting like what we do in the United States is going to save the fucking world. Ellen's out where in like LA or something. Okay, so there's some vegans in the United States. What's the fucking ego with everyone that we think, oh, in the United States, because most of this shit that I'm talking about is all in the United States. A lot of this is only in the United States. The KFC bullshit, this kind of nonsense, this first world problem where we have the ability to be like, oh, I don't eat meat because we have so much fucking money and so much ubiquitous food. Other places are starving. They would eat the fucking shit off the bottom of your fucking sneaker. People are fucking dying without basic water. And we're like, I don't eat meat. It's bad for the environment. Listen, if every single person in the United States went vegan, the world would still be fucking going right into the trash because it's only a portion. We have 400 million people in the United States. If every single one was vegan, it wouldn't do a damn fucking thing because there's 7.5 billion people in the world. Billion people in the world. If you got every single person in the fucking world, which I don't like saying the word impossible, but get the fuck out of here. It's impossible. You get every single person in the world eating a plant-based diet. You are going to have trillions of animals just storming everywhere. You wouldn't be able to drive a fucking car because there'd be too many fucking animals. What would you do with them? What are the animals going to eat? They're going to eat all your fucking plants. You don't want to eat animals. You just want to eat plants. What do you think the animals are going to eat? They're going to eat the fuck out of your crops. They're going to adapt and eat all your fucking corn and soy and all your plants. You're not going to have any plants because you're going to have too many animals. What are you going to do with them? Kill them? But no, I thought it was wrong to kill animals. But then you're going to have an overpopulation of animals. What are you going to do with them? What are you going to do with them all? You think they're going to stop fucking? You think they're going to be debating? Well, I don't know if we should eat plants anymore. We're animals. Maybe we should start eating each other. Stupid. It's stupid. The United States, changing what we do in the United States is only going to be like a drop in the bucket. It has to be everyone. So this is like a nonsensical, it's a non-argument. It's a non-issue. It really is. This is not the main issue, right? China, for everyone's saying in the comments. China's carbon emissions are next level. You can't even breathe the fucking air in China. We're worried about, oh, are you eating meat? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. So stupid. So fucking dumb. So fucking dumb. It's so stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Imagine that. Imagine that. 400 million people. If you could get everyone to avoid eating meat, way too many animals, wouldn't make a damn bit of difference because every other country is going to do what the fuck they want. They're going to be like, look at these fucking Americans, weird ass people. And they're going to be enjoying their fucking cheese and shit. We're all going to be a vegan. We're all going to be vegans. So how about France? You're going to tell French people to stop eating cheese, right? You're going to tell Italians to stop eating like spaghetti and fucking meatballs and all their like, chicken parmesan. What are you going to do? You're going to save the fucking world because you're going to stop eating meat? It's not going to do anything. You're not saving the environment. I'm sorry. You're not. It's a nice thought. It's a nice thought. It's a nice thought. I agree. It's a nice frilly, foofy wonderland that you're picturing. It really is. It's a beautiful thought. I'm not saying it's not. It's a beautiful thought. If you could snap your fingers and all of a sudden like fucking Thanos and just change the world, I think that's the only way. Go find those fucking Infinity Stones. That's why that movie is so powerful. I watched it twice. I really don't watch movies that often, but I watched it twice because the storytelling was phenomenal from the Avengers movies. Phenomenal. Endgame was an amazing. I really respect a good story and a good ending. That's why I couldn't give less of a fuck about Game of Thrones and their prequel series. Like, I don't want to watch anything that has to do with that storyline. It ruined it for me. I couldn't finish reading the books just because it killed the story. It killed the story. It killed any interest that I have what happened before. What do I want to know what happened before when you ended it like trash? I don't want to watch a prequel series when I know it's going to end like a fucking bullshit dead storyline. You fucked us over on that story, and then you want me to give a shit about your new shows? Fuck you, HBO. Aside from that, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, the Avengers, right? The Avengers, that story, it's a real full, complete story arc. It was just masterfully done. So you get the Infinity Stones, you could snap your fingers. And what was really powerful about the Avengers movie and that concept and the Thanos character is that you feel for him. I think we all agree, like he was evil, he was the bad guy. And no, you don't want your favorite Marvel characters to die, but the message, no spoilers. If you don't want a spoiler, I mean, it's been out for it's September. If you don't want to hear anything about, I'll tell you right now, if you don't want to hear anything about the Avengers, close out the video. Close it out. Spoilers are coming. Okay? I'm not going to restrict what I say about the Avengers. That came out like 6 fucking months ago. Watch the movie. Or just sign out here or earmuffs, okay? So I'm going to talk about it. You have a life, so do I. I watched it like a week ago. It's been 6 months, okay? Can I talk about Forrest Gump? Can I talk about what happened in Forrest Gump, or is that too soon? All right? You have a life, good for you. Then just close it off. Come back later. So if I damage anything. Oh, you mean Game of Thrones? Oh, no, okay. Anyway, if I talk Game of Thrones, all right, then... Well, that's the thing. I can't recommend anyone watch that show. I don't tell anyone to watch that show because what am I going to do? Recommend it and then it just fucking ends like shit. So anyway, all right. So let's talk about the Avengers. I was over the Game of Thrones thing. So if you're worried about the Game of Thrones spoilers, I'm not going to talk about it. Story sucked. Sorry. You can still watch it. Still great. The first few seasons are fucking amazing. Best show ever until, how many seasons were there? What, 7? I forget. It was 7 or 8. Until the last two. The last two were, but when the books ended, anyway, I think it was after season 5. Like, they were amazing. Where was I? So the Avengers story. So I think there's like that. You really feel for the Thanos character because he's evil, he's bad, but you also understand. You're like, it's a real strong message because it's not a bad idea. You're killing off half the population. Like, that's, to be honest, I know it sounds like evil, but it's really not a bad approach. You're resetting. He's resetting the universe. People are not thankful. People are overpopulated. People are just destroying planets one after another. Like, it's a very altruistic approach. But in this movie, for example, right, in the Avengers movie, the possibility to do that existed. Like in real life, it doesn't exist unless there's like a cataclysm and stuff like that. But to snap your fingers and to remove half, I like how it was like specific. It was half. Like, I'm not sure why he didn't want to just snap his fingers and just reduce it to an atom from the start. But I digress. But it's a very, 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 very interesting approach because you kind of feel for him. He's not an evil person. Like, his planet was destroyed. His people destroyed themselves because they got greedy and they just expanded. Blah, blah, blah. It's just it was indiscriminate. Again, it's like a very interesting psychological approach. I'm not saying I think we should eradicate half the species or of all the species and all life in the universe, but it's a very interesting like approach. Very interesting. He snapped his fingers. He could have snapped his fingers and literally wiped out every single superhero, but he didn't. He just like snapped Half of all life done. Think about it. It's like, it's interesting. Interesting. Just very, very interesting. Then people had to deal with the aftermath. It's like he just eradicated half. It was by chance. It was random. It was just kind of like across the board, like bloom. I just thought it was a very fascinating approach because you actually feel for him. He lost his people, and he lost people that he loved, and he sacrificed his daughter. He made sacrifices to achieve his goal. I just really thought, well, Sweet Candy said he could have been one of the ones also. He was in the end. Like eventually he was one of the ones. But I just thought it was very interesting that it was completely like neutral. Like he was bad from the sense that we didn't want our beloved characters to die. But it was like he was evil, but it was just his approach. Like what he was trying to do, it wasn't directly against any one person. Just very fascinating psychological storyline. It wasn't directed at any one individual character. It wasn't, I'm against this person. I'm against this. It was like, who's in my way? Get out of my way. I'm going to do whatever I can to neutralize it. Other planets, he was doing it manually, which is, slaughtering half. I mean, yeah, it's definitely fucking brutal. But when he got the stones, it's kind of like, all right, half. Like he could have been a lot more specific with what he was thinking. Just interesting. Anyway, yeah, it probably would. It would probably work too. In other words, it's not the problem what you're eating. So if you're living in Los Angeles, if you're living in Austin, Texas, if you're living in New York City, if you're living in Miami, in Minneapolis, in Oklahoma, you going vegan, it's not going to do anything. Like, what's it going to do for you? Like, you should worry about nutrition. You should worry about nutrition for your individual health. If it's something that you can adhere to, if it's something that you figured out by doing an elimination diet, by determining that being vegan is right for you, then do it for your health. Don't do it to save the environment. Don't do it to save the aminals. Like, you're not going to. You might save one, someone else is going to eat it, or it's going to get killed by another animal. It's just a very altruistic, egotistical way for human beings to think. It's all about ego. Human beings think that, we can do this and then everything will be better because we want it to be better. If we don't eat meat, we're going to save the earth. Yeah, okay, sure. And then a comet's going to hit us and wipe us all out anyway, like any second. So it's the human ego that is leading to these fucking concepts. It's the human ego feeling like we have control over our universe where we have no fucking idea what we're doing in this universe. We can't control the weather. We can't control anything that goes on. We are completely helpless. So we're trying to create some order and some idea and some concept that we can actually control our surroundings when we can't. There could be another fucking hurricane coming tomorrow and it could be a category 7 and wipe out the entire fucking East Coast, like wipe it out. There could be. There's nothing in history that says it couldn't. It just hasn't happened yet. So there's all these different, like, everyone just thinks that they know what to do and knows what's going on. No one fucking knows. And, Ellen making this kind of nonsense and saying these kinds of things definitively is a real fucking tragedy. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 1231 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce Magoose, your boy Papa Swole, out.